Hail, bird of prey. 5. Hail, Karuga.
Kapla!
Kapla.
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Garoga. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Take it over whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. And that means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird O' Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Bird O' Prey 5. Kapla, and yes, we're 30 minutes late. Well, actually, I set it for 4:30, so we are right on time, but for 30 minutes later than usual for this bed life for Friday, December 15th, 2023. Welcome all. I am fighting a head cold, so apologies. We'll have to cough a bit more than usual. And I probably don't sound exactly right, but truth be told, as head colds go, knocking wood, so far this one isn't so bad. Hakeem was first in the chat. Says Kapla, bird in chat. Kapla. Hakeem. Richie Poole showing 2 alpacas and 2 crystal skulls for being second in the chat. Not Ryan Johnson says hello in Kapla. Hail Karoga. Hail Karoga to not Ryan Johnson. Sean Araki with a 99-cent super poop super sticker. Thank you, Sean Araki. And you get some con action. Last Son of K says Kapla Bird, O Praise, and chat. Anti-Derivative Jill just wrapped up another great live stream this week. So glad to follow that up with your stream. Hail all, and that definitely hail to Anti-Derivative Jill. I wish I could have been part of her live stream for longer, but I knew I had my stream coming up after hers, and I needed to get some rest. And not just me so much, but Mamo Prey, who is unfortunately also got this head cold. Worse than me. She needed some rest, and I know Mamo Prey doesn't like to rest if I'm not resting. So, well, this is between me and you guys, since Mamo Prey is outside at the moment. You know, if I take a break, I take a nap, then Mama Pray will take a nap. And I knew she needed it. And, unfortunately, as soon as I went to nap, the gardeners came and they needed to be paid. Plus, they made some noise. Not as much noise as the last gardeners did, but still enough that Mama Pray had to stay up till they left, and she had to close the windows. And then we got 1 delivery, 2 deliveries, 3 deliveries, 4 deliveries. It was an unheard of number, ridiculous number of deliveries in just the hour, the 2 hours we were trying to nap. Poor Mama Pray had to answer the door at least 4 times. Granted, some of those were, or at least one, was a gift for her birthday, which is tomorrow, but it was a plant, a beautiful plant, but a plant from a family member. And it's like, thank you for the plant, but at the time, listen, nobody knew that mailing that plant or the problem wasn't that the delivery, the florist making the delivery had no clue. I don't understand. They're made by local florists. Local florists should understand where the addresses are. I mean, my house, if you put the address into Google Maps, it 100% picks out the correct house on the block. But for whatever reason, technology has not advanced at this particular florist. He had to call and he had to ask Mama Pray to come outside and wave down his delivery van. He couldn't fucking find the house. He needed Mama Pray not only to answer the door, but to come outside and wave down the truck. And of all days, of all the days, all she wanted to do was take a short nap. And of course, we get then. And sure, it's a nice potted plant or whatever the fuck it is. But it's like, seriously? Seriously? Did she need this today? No, she didn't. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It was a lovely gesture. You can't be mad at anybody. It's just the way things always turn out to be for Mama Pray. And that's why I feel so bad for her. Schwario says, hello, you all. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies. Kapla. Hakeem says, hello, everyone. Ken Jack Ben. Hey, Ken Jack Ben. Says, greetings and salutations from Vallejo, California. Bradley Briggs says, is up, y'all? What's up, Bradley? Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, hey, got a lurk. No problem, Gorilla. Elihu, hey, Elihu says, today it is Garrett Wang's birthday. Garrett Wang is, of course, the actor who plays Ensign Harry Kim on Star Trek Voyager. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47. Captain Fandom Nerd says, Birdo Revive, hello. Pain level is high now. Thank God for an ice bag. I almost read that as iceberg. I was like, iceberg? What the fuck? Did he hit an iceberg? No, ice bag. Okay. And wonderful that an ice bag is capable of reducing your pain at all. So, hopefully you also have some more powerful stuff. Cody Guy waves. Hello, Cody Guy. Cinnabon Bunny says hello, hello, Cinnabon. Cinnabon was fighting today. In fact, I have the exact link. I've got it. I've got it here. This is a link to Cinnabon's early overnight stream where he was playing War Thunder, I believe it's called. Anyway, at exactly the time interval that is in this link I just put in, Cinnabon finds another player called Bird O' Prey. Now, thankfully, they were not Bird O' Prey 5, but they were Bird, B-I-R-D, capital O, P-R-E-Y. And there's somebody else out there with that username currently playing War Thunder, and Cinnabon blew him out of the sky. Thank you, Cinnabon Bunny. That's exactly what you have to do. You have to take out anybody. Why are you Bird O' Prey 5? Because somebody else, all those decades ago, had the Bird O' Prey without a number already taken. I can't say for sure it's this guy, but it might be. It might be. And he's too close. He's too close to my username. So, and Cinnabon rightfully stopped attacking the other enemies and instead went after Mr. Bird O' Prey and blew him out of the sky in War Thunder. Thomas Potts was in the chat, and he correctly deduced that it wasn't me playing the game because I wasn't crashing. Yeah, clearly, Bird O' Prey had some flight skills that I did not have. The truth is, I tried to play War Thunder once. I have no idea how to control the tanks, and I stopped playing. But I gotta say, I am enjoying watching Cinnabon play the game, and I am strongly considering trying to play the game with a controller, perhaps, because I'm not so good playing games with the keyboard and the mouse. Wario says, "Come." Elihu says he's been sick since Wednesday, and he's feeling a little better now. Persistent coughing still. Sorry to hear that, Elihu. Last Son of K says, sending get well wishes to you, Bird, and Mamo Pray. I hope you both feel better soon. Thank you, Last Son of K. Leaf blowers, yes, Stan Lee, there were leaf blowers today. Quite a few of them. Yeah, it's mostly leaf collection this time of year, indeed. Which, don't get me wrong, we're happy to have the leaves collected. It was just a most unfortunate time. Hakeem says, I hope you and Mom will probably feel better soon. Thank you, Hakeem. Last Sunday Day says, happy birthday to Mom O'Prey. Yes, tomorrow, Saturday, will be Mom O'Prey's 72nd birthday. She is, I don't say she's looking forward to it, but she decided to dye her hair recently, so she is looking younger again. So I hope she enjoys her day tomorrow. Elihu says a 100% chance of seeing northern lights in a few days as far down south of Tucson as Tucson, Arizona. Elihu, there is never a 100% chance of seeing the northern lights as far south as Tucson, Arizona. I as a scientist, you should understand that just to throw out something like 100% chance of seeing the northern lights, and this is why people don't trust scientists, because I guarantee you no one in New York City is going to see the northern lights. I guarantee it. And you would have to agree. You're going to know that you're saying a 70% chance they would be seen in Miami. Yeah, well, what about the fact that there's probably a 80% chance there'll be clouds in Miami, regardless of how far south the northern lights may actually show up. Okay, what about that fact? So please don't throw around 100% chance of seeing the northern lights. And even if it was cloudlit, you're not going to see them in New York City. It's too much light pollution. Even if they were there, you wouldn't see them. And moreover, I highly doubt they're going to be overhead anyway, even if we had no light pollution. Now, I guess tonight, the next few days, Elihu says over the next few days, as far as south as Tucson. Stanley says, did you need to use a couple of flashlights like she was helping to land the plane? Did she need a couple of flashlights like she was helping land the plane? One more thing to have to worry about. Now she has to water it. Oh, no, she didn't need to use flashlights to have the delivery guy find the house. No, she was just on the porch waving him down. Elihu says to Ken Jack Ben, rain, rain, rain. I was telling them about how we tried to nap and you had to answer the door. You had to go flag down a delivery guy. It was ridiculous. What'd you say? Two phone calls from different uncles, but now she can rest, maybe. Last on the case is at least Pavel Chekhov got promoted for Harry Kim. Elihu is lolling, Cinnabon's lolling. Dave G says, Kapla, Karoga Kapla. Again, Dave G sounding, thank you, Dave G. I got your Christmas present. It made its way here, officially inspected, and it is now officially under the Christmas tree. So under your instructions, it will be opened on Christmas. Hakeem says he's the original bird. No, I'm the original bird. Cinnabon says he was a treat to the Karogan Empire. Elihu says, Ken Jack Ben, we have less than 2% chance of seeing the aurora due to rain. Stanley says, oh wow. Last on the cases, we love Mamo Pray. Stanley says, better than the alternate. Elihu says, huge multiple level 6 coronal mass ejection erupted from sun. We are in solar maximum, heavy flares. Elihu, I've heard that bullshit over and over and over again. I am not gonna fucking see the Northern Lights. Guys have yelled wolf too many times. Jim's Landscape LLC says, hello, Jim. Mike Richards is break out the lead underwear. Elihu says, the last time we had a CME, the lights were seen in Las Vegas last month. Stanley says, well, they weren't here. They weren't here. Stanley says, to guide the plant delivery driver in. I gotcha. Last Seneca says, science isn't about absolutes. 99.99 is more likely, since there's always that 0.0001% chance something won't happen. Elihu says, here is the space weather news about the CMEs. And Dave G. Sound says, yay and good. Thank you again. Jim's Landscape says, please check out 3 Starship video. And thanks and Merry Christmas. Absolutely Merry Christmas to you. Don Ranger Power says, hello, bird and all. Hope everyone is well, despite the passing of Andre Brager and the Hasbro layoff. The Hasbro layoffs. I'm not familiar with the Hasbro layoffs. Don loved Andre, I think it's Brager, in both Homicide, Life on the Streets, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He was definitely one of my more favorite actors. Granted, there's a lot of them, but he was memorable. I enjoyed him. Sorry to see him passed at, I believe he was only 61 years old. Real shame. Dan Ben says, hi. Hello, Dan Ben. Don says, I had fun watching Jill's live stream regarding Star Trek, the motion picture, the director's edition, among a few things I love best about Paramount Plus. Yes, it is good. We can get it on Paramount Plus. Mike Richards with a 9-month friend of Karoga super chat says, Merry Christmas to you and your house. Thank you, Mike Richards. Merry Christmas to you and your house. Gowron's voice. Merry Christmas to you and your house. Brower. Don Ranger Power is saying Brower, I believe. Brower. Don says, my most recent Hasbro item I bought was a 7-inch Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Thunder Megazord figure. And Andre Brower was also in Frequency. Yes, he played Dennis Quaid's cop best friend. I really enjoyed Frequency. The movie Frequency is one of my all-time favorite movies. And then they also did a TV series. It lasted like 1 or 2 seasons. It was also good, but the movie Frequency, the film Frequency, really, really, and that ending, if you haven't seen Frequency, that ending really gets you. I really, really enjoy it. It's especially something to watch around Father's Day, because it's you don't see a whole lot of movies these days between a boy and his father. That's a father is anything other than comedic, uh, comic material, where this is a much more serious movie and not played for laughs. Dan Ben says there's too many versions of uh, a motion picture. Don says, speaking of TMP, got the Complete Adventure 4K Blu-ray combo. And Don says the director's edition is my #1 version of TMP, and also among my honorable mentions, TOS, and overall Star Trek movies. Well, you enjoy it much more than I do, Don, because despite whatever version of the motion picture, it is my least favorite of all the movies, not counting the JJ movie. But don't get me wrong, I love, love the scene where we see that new Enterprise for the very first time. It is by far the most beautiful spaceship, sci-fi ship ever designed. Anytime I hear Enterprise, I think of the Starship Enterprise. It is that ship, the movie refit with the blue saucer and those square nacelles. That is what I think of when I think of the Enterprise, a Constitution class ship. Now, I know a lot of old timers, when they think of Enterprise, they go back to the TOS Enterprise that was on TV, no bloody A, B, C, or D. But for me, it's the refit. Now, I call it the A. Not that there's any reason. Technically, the first refit in the motion picture and in Wrath of Khan, it wasn't the A. And even in Star Trek 3, it was still just 1701. There was no bloody A, B, C, or D. It wasn't until the end of Star Trek 4 did we see the A added, and it was pretty much the same outside of the ship at that point. But yeah, that is, and always will be the Enterprise to me. Elihu says the headache is coming back. Gonna bounce later. Take care, Elihu. Feel better soon. Don says the original theatrical cut and special longer version of TMP remains tied as my #2 TOS movie behind Wrath and #3 overall Star Trek movie behind First Contact. For me, It's Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, the #1 Trek movie of all time. Then 6 and 2, sometimes 2 and 6. Then 3 and 5. And then the various TNG movies, and then the motion picture. Dan Ben cut myself on my arm and have plaster. Apart from there, I've had it all day. Sorry to hear that, Dan Ben. I don't know what plaster means in that regard, but I hope it's not terrible. Last on the case is I lost my dad at 17. I enjoy both Frequency and Field of Dreams because of the father-son reunion element. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm so sorry to hear that, last son. Okay, but I could totally understand those movies mean something. I liked Frequency when my dad was still alive, and after he passed, I just like it even more. LDG at Free the Net is waving. Welcome, LDG. Dan Ben says, are there any other Star Trek films that have multiple versions? Oh, a lot. A lot. Star Trek 6 has quite a few versions. In fact, there's major differences between the theatrical version and the home release. The theatrical version, the shooter is a Klingon at the end. Spoiler alert. And in the home release, the shooter at the end is I think Admiral Cartwright. He's in Klingon makeup. After they fall and you see this dead Klingon, somebody says, that's not Klingon blood. And just like Scooby-Doo, they pull off his face, and it's like, that's Admiral Cartwright. And he's the one who, yeah, it's crazy. There's also scene difference when Spock mind rapes Valaris, and they show like what she's seeing, and then there's some added scenes that they took away. In Wrath of Khan, there's a difference. There's a Scotty brings the kid to the bridge. We find out that Scotty does it because it's his nephew. The kid is Scotty's nephew. Now it makes more sense as to why Scotty is carrying his carcass around the ship. Jedi Bill says Kapla. Birdo Pray 5 Kapla, Jedi Bill. LDG says howdy all. Howdy. Dan Ben got an advert for Norwegian cruise lines. Sorry about that, Dan Ben. Last thing is, the bird has ads turned on again. I thought I had it turned. Okay, I thought I had it turned off the first time, and it didn't. So what I did was set it to minimum ads, and hope that would work. I knew that wouldn't, but apparently turning it off doesn't seem to work anymore. Dan Ben says the problem of getting an advert on a live as you miss what the person's saying. I'm sorry. I'm really trying to cut out the ads. Mar Krell says hello there. Hello, Mar. Captain Fandom Nerd says also hello. Last Son of K says, I think YouTube runs ads during active live streams. I hate YouTube runs ads during active live streams. It's BS. I will continue looking for a way to not have ads. Dan Ben says, I think Americans call plaster a Band-Aid. Okay, yes. Yes, a Band-Aid. Because what I was thinking, I mean, only thing I could think of plaster would make me think of a cast, like what they put around a broken bone to keep it, in place. That would seem like something that was plaster to me. Dan Ben says, I believe that there were no ads in live streams, and then YouTube would have to press a button for ads, and now they just automatically play. Yeah, that's the problem. Last night is Bird isn't Cartwright actor played by from To Kill a Mockingbird, who played Ben Sisko's dad. Yes, that is Cartwright. So now I'm thinking, was it Cartwright or was it a different actor? I don't know. It was some human. It turned out the killer was some human and not an actual Klingon. It was a human in Klingon makeup. Taylor Swift, greater than Disney, Star Wars, MCU is in the house. Welcome, Taylor Swift. Okay, guys, so here's the deal. We're going to talk about something now. This is going to bring up a fellow YouTube creator. I didn't talk about it with them. Frankly, whether they see this or not, I don't really care. I have nothing to hide. I made my point to them in Twitter. We had a couple of back and forths about it. I'm not looking to attack this person in any way. I don't want anybody to feel like there's any reason to say anything directly to them. I already have. And yet I do feel like I want to talk it out with you guys and explain my thoughts. And so we're gonna do that. And I don't want this to feel like I'm trying to get a crowd riled up on my side or anything, because I'm not. And frankly, if people think I'm in the wrong, that's fine too. I don't give a crap. But Rene Auberjonois was the fake Klingon assassin. That's right. Odo. I forget who he played. I can't believe I'm having a brain fart. He was the head of security. He was the head of Starfleet security. Dan Ben says, I've never seen any version of the movie where it wasn't him revealed. Well, the theatrical version of the movie, he's not revealed. So That's also the Blu-ray. In the United States, the Blu-ray version is also the theatrical version. Growing up, the VHS, the home VHS version, was the director's version where he was revealed. So I had forgotten the theatrical release was a thing, because I mean, I had 10 plus years watching that VHS tape of the of it being revealed, so that the point was, when it got to DVD, you had both options, and then when Blu-ray came, the only option you had was theatrical, and I was like, "Holy shit! I'm losing part of the movie by upgrading to Blu-ray." It wasn't until very recently could you get the director's cut on Blu-ray that still had the assassin scene. Anyway, Bird just confused the name. Yes, Renee was in an earlier stream with the rescue plan of Kirk McCoy, shown to the Federation president, and can't remember Renee's character name either. Yeah, that was another scene. That was the scene also. That was not present in the theatrical release. But so here's what I wanted to talk about. Well, let's okay, before we get there, let's go through the day. It's National Cupcake Day, Ugly Sweater Day, Bill of Rights Day, which is going to circle back to what I wanted to talk about. Cat Herders Day, that's for Yosef. Disclaimer, this holiday is not dedicated to cats. Okay, well, I don't know what that is then. International Tea Day, National Lemon Cupcake Day, National Regifting Day, and National Wear Your Pearls Day. Bill of Rights Day, an important day to celebrate the American Constitution and the framework of society. Okay. This is a very disturbing sweater image, so I think we'll we'll move on. So, on Twitter, this is meteorologist Katie Niccolo. She is known to our nerd community. She is a storm chaser. She is a television meteorologist, weather person, as it goes. Emmy award-winning CBS meteorologist for WLNS, 3-time Emmy nominee, creator of the hashtag Fandom Forecast. Opinions are her own. And this is a baby picture of Katie. She has grown up and looks quite different from her baby picture, and apparently she is not going to pay the $8 a month for the Twitter check mark these days. So Katie is a very nice person. I've been on streams with her. She is super cool. Very big Star Trek fan. Probably, possibly a bigger Doctor Who fan. I don't know. She's a huge Doctor Who fan, a far bigger Doctor Who fan than my taste. But the first time I saw her, she was doing a weather forecast in a Star Trek Next Generation uniform, and she was giving like forecasts for like Risa and Kronos and Ferenginar. It was just hilarious and well done, and I knew she would be somebody to keep an eye on, and she has been. She shows up on Virtual TrekCon and other Star Trek podcasts. She made it to. She went to the Picard season 3 premiere, and unfortunately was in a really bad car accident. I felt terrible for her. Not only did she end up in the hospital in a strange city where she didn't know anyone, really. All of her swag, all of her Star Trek swag from going to the Picard season 3 premiere was lost because it was all in her car, which got totaled. Her rental car got totaled, and Terry Metalis and Gates McFadden and other famous people heard about what happened to her and made sure she was able to get some stuff again. So, I mean, she definitely is very connected, far more so than me, with like the shakers and the movers. Anyway, the point being, Katie is a good person, and she also loves animals, and she tries to get them adopted, and she does a fur cast in her job, her actual meteorology job. And so, but there's a problem I have with Katie. She also loves her cats. Look at this. Look at that beautiful. Look at that beautiful cat. I'm not a cat person, but that is a cute cat. Katie has a quest. Okay, Katie fights back on Twitter against what she perceives to be men who over sexualize women. For example, she says, "This is why I will always fight back. Never just ignore incels, because they'll go on to terrorize someone else, possibly someone more vulnerable to their attacks. Draw the line here, this far. no further. Now, that is exactly what it is. Sounds like that is the Star Trek Picard quote, Captain Picard quote from First Contact. Anyway, there was an account that she, quote unquote, went after, and it was called Newslegs, at Sexy Newslegs. And the account now got suspended. Okay. This account was one guy who would comment on the pictures of the knees of various meteorologists on various television channels around the United States. He had almost nobody following him. Right? It says 100. He was following 125 accounts. He had one follower. It wasn't me. But once she pointed him out, I wanted to go see what he was all about. And unfortunately, his channel has been removed. His I would say unfortunately, he had a vile mouth. Okay. His language was beyond decent. He would say terrible things to these women who he had their pictures. Now he didn't have pictures of the women that, they didn't release. These were all public photos they released themselves. He didn't go chase them down and take pictures through a fence or something and I have. No, these are their own pictures that they put out there for their own publicity. And they know the TV stations dress the women, or the women dress themselves, whatever. They know what they do. They know that dress is just a little bit above the bottom of the TV. Just enough knee is exposed that guys are looking at. And you might say, no, you're crazy, but I'm not. I am not. It's just, if you are a heterosexual male, that's what you're looking at. If the chest, the only reason you wouldn't is if the breasts were bigger and more open, and it's not usually the way that works for the news, specifically the weather and the traffic. Okay, it's just my whole life. The weather comes on. It's usually it's either an older guy who you assume knows what he's doing, or it's a younger, easy to look at woman, which I often prefer because why would I not? When I was flying to San Diego every couple of, every month or so, there was the one channel. I had never seen this done anywhere else in the United States, but like in New York, okay, you were watching TV news in the morning. I used to watch Good Day New York every morning, and that was the Channel 5 Fox affiliate. And on all the other TV stations, same in New York, whether it was NBC, ABC, CBS, or Fox News, there was the news ticker at scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And, it cut, if I was watching it on a 46-inch television, it cut a couple inches off the bottom of the screen. So the knees of the weather girl or meteorologist, who happened to be a female, or the traffic woman, you know, between the dress and the legs, there was a couple inches less that you couldn't see because the news ticker covered up the bottom. But in San Diego, that Fox affiliate station somehow figured out that they put the news ticker behind the legs. Everything else was in front, but the news ticker was behind the legs of their meteorologists. It was amazing. It was like I was like, why don't all of them do this? And they don't do it because then it would be so easy that like you couldn't hide it. You couldn't pretend that they're not doing this on purpose. But that's all I knew. Just to have that one Fox station out of San Diego to have her knees always in front of the news ticker. I knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. And I hate it that people don't pretend. I hate it that people pretend that these people aren't chosen based on their personal attractiveness. Okay? Now, yes, there's more to being a meteorologist than looking good. And I'm sure there are a couple of meteorologists out there that are not particularly attractive that have made it onto TV. But 9 out of 10 meteorologists on television are on there for their looks first. The fact that they have a meteorology degree is second, right? Because there are stations where you don't have a meteorologist, you have a weather girl, where they just read the weather that a more qualified but less attractive meteorologist prepared. Anyway, Katie fights people like this all the time. And I don't think she understands that when she goes out and publicizes this guy who had one follower, she is doing far more to spread his message than had she just ignored it completely. But worse, she goes on and she calls him an incel. She says it right here. Never just ignore incels, because they'll go on to terrorize someone else, possibly someone more vulnerable to their attack. So I messaged her in public on Twitter, and I said, hey, could you please not call, not go after incels? We're not all, we're not all bad. Don't don't use that word, because that makes some of us, feel like shit. To which he said, "Oh, I don't count because I'm nice to girls." And I don't. Let's see. I don't think my response is anywhere here anymore for whatever reason. But basically, I was like, yeah, that doesn't work. Nice. The reality is, nice guys tend to finish last. And of course, there was no response. So yeah, by all definitions, I mean, I am an incel, involuntarily celibate. You see people trying to stake the fires, stake the flames. We're gonna burn the incels on the fire, and no, I don't like that. Okay, not all incels are assholes. I mean, I am an asshole for other things, but not for this. So, I mean, don't be stoking those fires. Like, I don't like it. I do not like it that you call us incels, that you feel you have some sort of moral authority. And to be fair, while this person said some vile things, it is speech. It is freedom of speech. You're a public figure, okay? It's not, nobody wasn't threatening to attack you. They weren't threatening to, they weren't threatening anything. They were being honest, possibly, saying things they wanted to do to you physically. But you know what? A lot of people probably want to do those same things. They just know better than to go on Twitter and say it. You're better off when the people want to do things to you. The day might come when people don't see you that way. And unfortunately, that is going to be bad for your career. LDG says, Burgess, go onto your profile replies with a $2 super chat. Thank you, LDG. My profile replies. Notifications, messages. The fuck is Brock? This is where I like the people who played Birdle. Verify? No, it's obviously not verified because she doesn't. She doesn't. Yeah. There we go. Oh no, incels hate women So you don't need to worry since you don't fall into that category. And I wrote back something, and she wrote, "You're nice to women. You aren't an incel." And that was the end of the conversation. Anyway, I say I do find the knees sexy, but it wasn't me. It wasn't me who was under attack, but I felt like somebody should stand up. Obviously not me, but somebody should stand up for guys who they're selling a product. They're selling a product, and I like that. Okay. Don says there are 3 versions of the motion picture. That much he knows. Last on the case is Brock Peters was Admiral Cartwright. Rene Abdul-Janois was Colonel West. Yes, that's who it was. Colonel West, head of Starfleet Security and the assassin. LDG says, "Oh my God, Bird, Katie, that's a clickbait lead if I ever heard. This better be juicy." Don says, "Happy birthday, Mom. Oh, pray." Last son of K. She says, "Thank you." And there's a cake emoji. Last son of K says, "No biggie. The Picard series was shit overall." LDG says, "Who could ever have beef with Katie? Leave it to Bird. Anyone else smelling butter?" Last son of K is asking LDG if he's having a stroke. Jeff B says, "Katie does reviews of anime on YouTube." Yes, she does that too. She does her own YouTube channel. Subscribe. Last on the case is like the AT&T spokesperson actress who hides behind tables because people obsess over her tatas. Yeah, she is very blessed. She is very blessed. Hakeem says he probably was his only follower. I wasn't. I promise you it wasn't. I considered it, but I didn't. LDG says, "I am unsure who Bird is having an issue with yet." Last NHA says, "Like libs of TikTok who use woke idiots' own TikTok videos to show their own stupidity." Bradley Briggs says, "The man had a need that was filled by knees." Mike Richards was worried Katie would turn out to be Fang Fang. No, I wouldn't. I would never be so lucky. Last son of K says, "Not all young, beautiful female meteorologists don't know what they're doing professionally, but pretty much equals ratings. Sex sells." Absolutely. It sells, and they know it. We know it. Everybody knows it. So why do we have to pretend that it doesn't? Jeff B says, "What about Russian meteorologists? I have never heard of Russian meteorologists." Dan Lee says, "Al Roker." That's Al Roker. Mama Pray. So speaking of Al Roker,
I just saw a video of on Facebook of nephew O'Prey. And guess where he was at 8 o'clock this morning?
Al Roker's house?
At Radio City, looking at the tree. Not radio, Rockefeller Center. Looking at the tree and running back and forth on the piano that you can step on and play. But that's outside the studio where Al Roker.
NBC studio.
Right, NBC studio, Rockefeller Center. And they were there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I see pictures of the crowd outside the studio. I don't know, I didn't ask her why she didn't take him to the front of the crowd, so he could have been on TV. Probably she might have had to be somewhere at 9, but they went in last night, spent the night in a hotel, and then went to Rockefeller Center this morning. So you mentioned Al Roker, that brought me up. It's very cute. When you finish your stream, you can look at it. He's adorable.
Thank you, Mama Pray.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No
Hello, everyone.
Jedi Bill with a 33-month friend of Karoga super chat.
Oh.
Says Kapla Bird Pray, happy holidays to you and your family. Hail, Karoga. Thank you, Jedi Bill.
Is Deej here?
I don't see Deej.
Oh, because Charlie was wearing one of those one-piece outfits. I think it was an alligator or a crocodile. I don't know.
Not a rabbit yet.
No, but I mean, he tends to like those things. I don't know where he gets it.
Well, we'll see. Hakeem says a lot of news channels in other countries use sex to sell. Their ratings go up during those weather segments. Stanley says, well, he did lose all that weight. Oh, you're talking about Al Roker. Well, I was just saying, guys are different. Stanley says, yeah, they're not studying radar information. Last time, if they actually cared about how they look on TV, the meteorologist and the station, they would let these women go on TV with unstyled hair, no makeup, and a big tent. They look pretty for the rating. Hakeem says, nice guys finish last, but at least they finish. Well, depends how nice they are. LDG puts in a link. It's not a platform. You stand on a trapdoor. If you stand on a trapdoor to speak. Last on the case is unless he was actually stalking her or physically harming her, he has a right to voice his opinion. Unless it could be proven he would do those things, there's nothing wrong with expressing them. And I agree too. Don't get me wrong, this guy was borderline. He was saying disgusting things. But, it's kind of his right to say disgusting things. Melted Copper says, howdy, everyone. Bird, you really opened a strange realm of live feeds. Says Melted Copper. There is Teague and a slew of people I found my way across in the cyber of space. Selling products is key. Notice Marvel movie posters and characters and TOG ads on poster. Lord forbid good writing in the film. Back end market is key. Dan Ben doesn't watch anime. Arabic Sonder. Kapla Arabic Sonder. Live long and prosper. Mike Richards says, you know it, I know it. The whales know it. Melted Cropper says, cute. It's like love. It's a thing, not a delusional fantasy. Last in the case says, it's never an interruption when Mamo Pray wants to talk to us. Thank you, Mamo Pray. LDG says, Rezo, you there? And Melted Copper says, I'm getting to use bird time delay reading. Sometimes I say stuff for text a few minutes ago. What time is it? 5:45. Let's do a Wordle. You guys want to give me a 5-letter word? A 5-letter word, then I will try to power through Wordle. Famous last words. Anyone? 5-letter. Bueller. Come on. Whale. Captain Fandom Nerd with whale. And we've got no letters. Okay, we'll do poker. P-O-K. Oh no, we already used the E. Let's see. Porks. P-O-R-K-S. Okay, we got the O in the right place. We got a P. Let's see. D O M O P let's see. A-E-I-O-U. S-O-U, no. We already used S. B-O-U. B-O-U-P. No. B-O-O. B-O-O. B-O. Boony? Loony? We're all a little loony. No, it can't be loony. Tupi. Uh, oh, where it says a P. Loopy, Moopy, 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 Moopy. Let's see. Foopy, Doopy, Joopy, Noopy, Boopy, Boopy, Koopy, Zoopy, Toopy, Toopy, Doopy, Doopy, Doopy. Poopy. Soupy. Nope. LDG says that was fun. Done in 3. That was fun. Booty. Booty. It's not booty because there's a P in it. There's a P in it. Oh man. How is it? A T and a P. And there's no Y. Ooh, that is a tough one. MINUS. Let's see. There's an I. There's a P, an I, a T, an O. TOI, TOP, TOPI. It's not. Need to take my pill. Topic. Topic. Thank God for Last Son of K. Thank you, Last Son of K. I would not have gotten that. Okay. Let's go ahead and head to Dear Bops. Dear Bops. We've got 2 Dear Bops for today. Okay. Dear Bop, did you have HBO growing up? And if so, why was it your favorite channel? Okay. I did have HBO growing up. It was not my favorite channel. Melded Cobber doesn't understand this version of Scrabble. I'm not cheater, Last Sonic K. I just appreciate the answer. Honestly, this answer is this answer is going to require a little more time than we have. I am going to do something I've not done before, and we are going to hold this, dear Bop, till next time. We will hold that, dear Bop, till next time. Since it's not an actual request for help, we'll hold it till next time. Because I want to talk about that. Dear Bop, what was your favorite magazine back in the day? And why was it Nintendo Power? Right. Well, obviously these are the same types of question. Although I can tell you, no, it certainly wasn't Nintendo Power. I didn't have Nintendo Power. When I was a kid, my favorite gaming magazine was the Electronic Gaming Monthly. I mean, oh my God, those days as it came towards Christmas time, the magazine would get thicker and thicker. It was almost like a fucking book. And then they would start enclosing it in plastic to send like games and CDs. First they were like discs, the AOL discs. But they had game discs that would come with it. And they would have posters and stuff. And it was this whole big thing. And like you have to go to, I would get them at the store. I didn't used to. I guess I'd subscribe to some of them, but I don't know. I used to buy them when we'd go out to the mall. It was a whole big thing. It was a whole big to do. I mean, that was before the internet, or before, maybe I had the internet technically, but it was still easier to read where the news was on your latest games and PCs and stuff in the magazine than try to find it online. But yeah, for my gaming stuff, it was the Electronic Gaming Monthly. As I got older, it was all about popular science and more so popular mechanics. Popular science was more for the science, whereas popular mechanics was more for the engineering types. So I kind of like popular mechanics. Cinnabon says Cinemax After Dark was superior to HBO. That's actually what I was going to talk about. And I had a more superior channel to both of those. Don has to go now. Thank you, Bird, and see some of us again soon. For others, have a great weekend and merry everything. Thank you, Don. Last Sonic K had HBO growing up, but we didn't pay for the pay channels when we had cable, but I could watch scrambled porn. Yeah, we didn't pay for cable either. Hakeem says Cartoon Network was his favorite channel growing up. Thomas Potts says 0.7 of all dear bops were asking for help. Yeah, that's true. LDG says EGM. Oh, yeah. Antiderivative Jill says hello. It's Cody Guy says EGM and Game Pro. Oh, yeah, Game Pro too. But EGM was like the favorite. Hakeem says Game Informer and EGM were good. LDG is waving to Jill. And Game Informer is another one. Last Son of K says hello to Andrew Jill. Awesome stream this week. Thank you very much. LDG says PC Magazine. Yeah. PC Magazine was another. And Andrew Jill says, thank you to LDG. You helped to make my day. Hakeem says, I still have some Game Pro magazines, lol. They used to come with demos. Jill says the last Son of K, so happy you enjoyed it, and thanks for hanging out. Cinnabon says Bird only bought those to replace the Playboy cover. LDG says Wizard for Comics. I don't know what that is. Omni for Sci-Fi. Thomas Potts says WTF, an ad just popped up. Thomas, I'm trying to figure it out. It used to be, Thomas, where no ad showed up, but now YouTube is putting in the ads themselves. So I tried to select minimal ads, but I had to figure something else out. And Thomas, apologies. Yesterday, I don't know if you were there or not. I did eventually notice that I had a donation, and I read the donation, but you may have already left yesterday. And also, for anyone else who was on the Thursday stream yesterday, apologies. I thought I had pinned the link to the panel. I had never intended it to be a closed panel. In fact, it was very much titled Open Panel. I thought it was open to everybody. I thought I had pinned the link at the beginning of the chat, but as it turned out, I forgot to pin the link, so the link was missing after the first, 30 minutes or so. So it took till 4 hours later until NB asked for the link. Until NB asked for the link, that I realized the link had not been pinned, and that's why nobody was coming up in the chat except people who had the link from the very beginning. So apologies to all you guys. I wish somebody had reminded or asked or whatever. That was my bad. My bad. And Antiderivative Jill with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Antiderivative Jill. And she asks, Bird, what do you have against experiencing the effects of time dilation when in a wormhole? So on Antiderivative Jill's stream today, it was all about Star Trek, the motion picture, and I told everybody that the scene where they go into the wormhole, and there's the asteroid in the wormhole. That is my least favorite scene in all of Star Trek. Well, all of non-Discovery Star Trek. And that if I had the power, I would cut that scene out of canon and destroy it. As to why, I don't know. I hate everything about it. I hate the special effects. I hate the voice. I hate the video quality, whatever the video trickery they do. I mean, it makes zero sense. Like, if you're at warp, the fucking asteroid would be past you so fast you wouldn't even see it. I mean, the fact that it stays at a constant size in front of you for an appreciable amount of time, it doesn't make any sense. It looks ugly, and it feels ugly. I have no great way of explaining it. I hate it. I hate it, and I don't want to see it. Dan Bang got an ad for Women of Scotland, and Thomas was there. Okay, I'm glad you were there, Thomas. Last one says, it's stupid YouTube BS. Even if you can skip them, waiting to skip lags the flow of the stream. More says for YouTube to make money off creators. Bullshit. Mike Richards says PooTube. Last one says Google lies. The only real money maker on YouTube is YouTube. Thomas Bond says you did have a sober stream for most of yesterday. Android Jill says thank you and laughs. Dan Ben says, yeah, they made the wormhole level in the video game Star Trek Shattered Universe with Sulu. And Dan Ben says, does the wormhole scene look the same in each version of the motion picture? I believe it does. I haven't noticed any major changes. Anyway, guys, I think we will call it a day. Thank you so much for hanging out. Have a great weekend. And Kapla all birds.